Now, after 2023's ongoing box office disasters by Disney, you can only imagine what's going through Bob Iger's mind and the rest of the Disney board of directors over there, and even Kevin Feige of Marvel Studios, after The Marvels was of course considered the worst box office MCU opening in history. We know it, they know it, and that's exactly what's causing an entire ruckus between Disney and many of the other divisions over at the Disney company. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new and like this video to see future updates. You can also find me at Mike01. I thank you also very much for the great and kind support. Now, what's really interesting has a lot to do with what's been going on over at Disney. Now, we already know that Bob Iger is doubling down and upping the ante with his usage of DEI into not just Marvel Studios, not just Lucasfilm, but also Disney in general. And the next big aim right now is at the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise, or the brand, if you will, that no longer supports Johnny Depp as Captain Jack Sparrow. Now, what's interesting about this further is that, yes, we know that Bob Iger is only doing, one bad decision after the other. Alright, this is exactly what he's been doing for the past number of months, and rapidly getting worse and worse over time. And if they believe that 2025 is going to bring them in a decent amount of profit, well, they got rocks in their head, because that is going to be nothing more than full of expensive failures across the board from all the divisions. Now, what's interesting about this, once more, has a lot to do with Bob Iger's push for DEI in the upcoming Pirates of the Caribbean 6 film, if you even want to call it that, the remake, if you will, that is going to pretty much dismantle everything that you know about the first Pirates of the Caribbean movie, let alone the first 5 films. Now, with that being said, with Disney doubling down on their usage of DEI with every division at the Disney company and its upcoming films and TV shows for the years to come, one major development has to do with Bob Iger and his stand against the backlash revolving around the Pirates of the Caribbean remake. Now, Iger recently delivered the following. As CEO, I believe it is my responsibility to set the record straight with one of our popular brands, such as Pirates of the Caribbean. We are proud to announce that we will be taking a fresh approach with this new installment that will feature a newly established main lead that we believe will take the place of Captain Jack Sparrow accordingly. This is something on our end that has been long overdue, as we pursue to recreate the energy that Mr. Depp provided with Jack Sparrow, and how we can find an avenue to cherry-pick elements from that character into a new female-driven lead character to drive the story that we have seen and that we have been so impressed with so far as the story goes. In the early stages, we were taking baby steps with this approach, but after careful review, we have come to the realization that the demand of Mr. Depp's portrayal of Captain Jack Sparrow is not a necessity in a new film and the story we are going for right now. The idea that we will be embracing, that we hope will be successful, is by taking key elements from Mr. Depp's performance and applying it to our new female established role that will pay tribute to our push for equality in the Pirates brand. Our goal right now with our new female lead is to turn this character into the new Captain Jack Sparrow in spirit by cherry-picking from Mr. Depp's performance to keep things familiar with a new character that fans have never seen before in the past 5 films. After going over the demand from our customers, we find no reason to connect our new film to Mr. Depp's performance and the character that he played for many years, and of course the character's history. Our biggest mistake in recent years with our first 5 films, with, of course, the first Pirates films with Mr. Depp as the lead, is that we didn't respect our usage of DEI fully at the time to properly establish different groups of individuals in our stories. And though we have been trying to make things right with the return of Captain Jack Sparrow, in the end, we firmly believe that this was the right move by transferring elements of his character to a new one that will support diversity, equity, and inclusion, and will serve as a new symbol of the Disney company. One of the many things that we have heard from our customers is that a brand like this won't work without Mr. Depp's return. Our belief that Mr. Depp is not crucial, nor is his acting capability crucial to a film succeeding. We have many more announcements to come for how DEI will be established in our new Pirates film, as we are ready to begin production in the coming months. Now guys, let me just stop here quick for 1 second. Now, I don't know if you knew this, but the Pirates of the Caribbean script, it is pretty much all wrapped up and finished. That's why Bob Iger is just going off on how much he loves this story, of how it's going to be all led by a female, just for the sake of making it led by a female. Once again, an agenda that's going to drive the story into the ground, and it's going to diminish any kind of natural character development. Again, we've seen this with Star Wars, we've seen this with many Marvel installments, and they're doing it now again with Pirates of the Caribbean. They also did it with Snow White. Make no mistake, Disney is tarnishing every brand seemingly on purpose now. I don't know about you guys, but in the beginning, sure, that may have came across as a little bit, out of reach, or a little, bit of a reach there, but now at this point in time, Bob Iger is truly seemingly driving Disney into the ground on purpose, with some kind of ulterior motive inbound. Now, what's interesting about this, again, is the fact that he repeatedly makes it clear that they will be essentially stealing Johnny Depp's performance as Captain Jack Sparrow and throwing in his acting capabilities and his mannerisms, his style, into this new character that is basically going to take the spirit of Captain Jack Sparrow. What does that necessarily mean? Well, maybe it means that this character will be kind of like a drunk, and will kind of be woozy like that on set and while filming the scenes. It's quite possible that they take that kind of element from the character into the new one. Now, this is not to be taken literally. The character's not going to be called like Jackie Sparrow or anything like that, but they're using, Johnny Depp's performance and his acting format, his style, and throwing it into this new character, right? So moving onwards, he goes on to conclude, we have many more announcements to come for how diversity, equity, inclusion will be established in this upcoming Pirates installment. After careful research, the majority of fans and customers of ours are open to a story without Mr. Depp's return in a new Pirates film that opens up a new format that has never been done before in this brand. Even if we had a better agreement with Mr. Depp with his return, we must address that this is the more proper direction to head to with the future of the Pirates brand under Disney, as it will be an opportunity for us to insert DEI into the many new characters to arrive. Guys, I can only imagine how much of a disaster this movie is going to be. Now again, we don't know when this is coming out. Earlier they were trying to get this thing out by 2026. Then there were rewrites. There was a big shift when they kind of excluded the concept of Margot Robbie being the main lead. That dropped. That got pretty much diminished into nothingness. And now you got The Last of Us showrunner leading the story and leading this agenda-driven garbage that is going to be Pirates of the Caribbean 6. We're just calling it that for now. It's not going to be called that, but it is going to be a remake, and it is going to be a soft reboot, quote-unquote. We've discussed how Jenna Ortega is going to have some kind of influence over the film, and even that has fallen into shambles. We have a lot more to talk about that, and it's why we haven't really been touching on that in the past number of months. There's been a lot of back and forth happening between herself and Disney. So I would like to hear what you all have to say about this ongoing scenario below in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel, and I will catch you guys later.